Hello, I'm Dr. Andrew Neville, specialist in adrenal fatigue. And I get a lot of questions about fibromyalgia in my practice. What exactly is fibromyalgia? And it's a confusing, somewhat ambiguous kind of a diagnosis. It's an official diagnosis, right? If you look at the CDC criteria, you have to test positive for 11 out of 18 tender points with 4 pounds of pressure per square inch on these various places in your body, kind of somewhat random. My question always is why? Like, what is that? What is causing this random pain in all these various places in your body? So what conventional medicines, so a lot of my patients have pain, and conventional medicine will go through all the various aspects of pain and try to figure out, is it arthritis? Is it osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis or a muscle strain or whatever? And what they'll try to do is just rule out all the kind of concrete causes of pain. And once they do that, they say, oh, well, maybe it's fibromyalgia. Let's do this test. And then, you get this diagnosis of fibromyalgia, but nobody really knows what it is. With adrenal fatigue, people are in a stress response too often. That's basically what happens, right? So we dump extra stress hormone. Once in a while, that's fine, right? That'll save your life. You need to do that. Jump into fight or flight, right? Dump that stress hormone. But if you release that stress hormone over time, it creates tremendous wear and tear in the body. And we know that cortisol and adrenaline will hit nerves throughout the body, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, autonomic nervous system, throughout the body, and it sensitizes those nerves. It makes them trigger happy. So if you do that over time, half of the people with adrenal fatigue over time will develop chronic pain, sometimes pain significant enough to be diagnosed with fibromyalgia, right? Another half of those people will develop chronic fatigue, sometimes significant enough to meet the CDC criteria for chronic fatigue syndrome. And then there's plenty of people in the middle who actually end up getting both. Those diagnoses don't necessarily mean a whole lot to me. They're important for research, right? When you do research, you want to be very specific as to the class or the people who you're kind of putting into a research study. They're important for insurance, right? So doctors can get paid because you have to have a name for something. But neither of those kind of conditions, neither of them talk really to the cause. And one of the most common underlying causes of both of those conditions is adrenal fatigue over time. That sensitization of the nervous system is really a crucial thing because it happens, like I said, throughout the nervous system. So a lot of my patients will even come into me and let's say, I'm kind of sensitive to these bright lights bother me, right? And loud sounds. My startle response is up, harsh chemicals and smells, right? And even touch. Like you could just touch one of my patients and the limbic system registers that as pain. It's upregulated, right? So ultimately, over time, my patients tend to feel things, all things. They feel things to the nth degree, right? Everything. They even feel their organs, all kinds of crazy things that doctors will generally roll their eyes at. My patients actually feel that stuff, and I believe them. And actually, your body's doing that on purpose. Right? Your body's hypervigilant, your body's on red alert. Our stress response system, which is, not just the adrenals, right? It's the limbic system in the brain, the hormone side and the nerve side of your stress response. That stress response system is an old, very conserved part of our physiology. Hasn't really evolved all that much over the thousands of years we've been here. It still thinks that we're hanging out in the plains of Africa in tall grass, being stalked by a lion. And I'll tell you, if that was you, you'd want to be hypervigilant. You want your pupils to dilate, right? You want your ears to be hyperacoustic. You want to smell. The faster you smell or detect that lion, the better your chance of survival, right? Problem is we don't live in the plains of Africa anymore where it's pretty chill most of the time, except for that occasional lion. We live in today's world, right, which is loud and obnoxious and toxic and fast-paced, and it bombards this sensitized system left and right. And what that does is it just kind of keeps our bucket full all the time because we're always stuck in fight or flight. That is what over time leads to this chronic, mysterious pain called fibromyalgia. You fix that adrenal fatigue, and that fibromyalgia goes away over time.